Welcome back to FEDA, the Emblem of Justice. Chapter 9 is called Roaring Simba, but it doesn't involve CGI remakes of classic Disney films about cartoon animals. No, today we are finally making the first strike against one of the 4 Commodores, and it looks like they won't be getting any reinforcements from the mainland, so we're in the best possible shape to start going on the offensive. Apparently Cobalt's actually pretty happy to not get reinforcements, which is very weird. Also, this means the mainland wants to get rid of the rebels a different way, which should have us concerned, but no time to worry about it now. As for the Liberation Army, our first step is to attack an island just off the coast, which is the location where cargo dragons are manufactured by the Empire. As soon as we make landfall, we're thrust into another beach battle with some grass terrain, kind of like the last beach battle. The targets are the 2 mages who just sit there and do nothing unless someone enters range, and they're sitting on sand terrain that greatly lessens their range. This makes it nice and simple to get the flyers to start whacking them. Just have everyone else form a defensive line on the grass so they can resist the other enemies, which are mainly the robots. Next up, we have the bane of my existence. One of those maps where the goal is to get everyone into the goal area, which at least this time, the goal area is clearly visible. It's those wooden planks in front of the facility, and I like the graphics for this map because you can see the bones of dead dragons half buried in the snow. It makes sense that there's a cargo dragon production facility here. Remember how I said they make those by piecing together dragon corpses and reinforcing them with metal skin? Anyways, I tried to make this go faster by bringing in the units that move the quickest, but it didn't help much. I still had to kill all but one of the enemies here. Also worth noting that the next battle begins immediately after this one, so you have no chance to change your party. Better make sure you're prepared for both fights before you start the first. With the facility under our control, we need a way to fly back to the peninsula, and we have no pilots. Luckily, Cannoli appears and says she can simply animate one of the cargo dragons with magic, much to the chagrin of McDougal, who really doesn't like flying. So that's yet another reason they don't have Cannoli get captured if she's KO'd, huh? You know, you could have just had her escape for free, because there are actually several points in this game where captured units are allowed to escape and rejoin the party for free. You don't have to go on a rescue mission. But anyways, Cannoli starts flying. Unfortunately, as we fly towards the enemy base, Cannoli realizes she forgot something kind of important. She can fly the dragon, but she can't land it. I guess her training comes from that NES Top Gun game. So we have no choice but to dive bomb the enemy base. Won't this be fun? Well, at least it saved us a trek up here. Now we need to eliminate all the enemies here. It's mostly robots, gun turrets, and a pair of Pegasus enemies. However, be wary of the Ken troopers. They're the usual, though since there are 4 of them coming at you, 2 from each side, you'll want to check their ranges to make sure weak units aren't going to get caught by their combat arts. Speaking of which, isn't it annoying that you can't check enemy ranges in this game? I suppose it took a while for Fire Emblem to implement this, so I can't really complain too much. Anyways, there shouldn't be too much to worry about. Okay, that one was my fault. Yeah, sorry, Tobikage. Don't send one guy up against the gun turrets, especially one as squishy as him. I learned my lesson, I hope. Anyways, we're inside the base now. Enter the building on the right and start looting the place for items. This is the last location in the game with hidden objects like this, so you don't need to worry about it from here on out. Interesting pickups include the Rip Howling, a whip for Sonia if she's on your team, and the Rear Valiant, a sword usable only by female sword users. In other words, Lois or Shelly, and I don't have Shelly, so yeah. If you want to change your equipment or party, you have to leave the base and enter the party camp, then head back inside the base and enter the left building for the next battle to start. Weird design choice. Oh goody, another generic enemy battle. The objective this time is to simply hold off the enemy until Tolman arrives with reinforcements. So, it's a defense map. Just set up your defenses right here and wait the turns out. Moranius and Brian are basically the bulkiest units at this point. The gun turrets can't even get close, which makes me wonder why they're there. The mages might annoy you some, so this is a good battle to bring in a magic shield user. Either way, hold out just a few turns and the map ends without all that much fanfare. I don't really know why they let you run around inside the base after the battle. There's nothing in there of interest. Exit the area and head north to the next Liberation Army camp. Finally, we can rest and relax a little. This base doesn't have a shop, but if you enter the supply tent and chat with the guy managing the army's goods, He agrees to let Brian and co. take the rest of his food packs and antidotes, for free. Oh my god, they're actually being helpful to us now. This is a miracle, are we recording this? The goods are all sent to the storage at your own camp, so pick them up whenever you want. They're not patrol packs, but they work better than rations at any rate. When you're ready, check in with Tolman for your next mission. Tolman informs us that the next step is to take out one of the 4 Commodores, but he also mentions that Cobalt plans to do something with Tusk and the Executor. We'll deal with that later, but for now you have 2 options for attacking Resetsu, the first of the 4 Commodores. Either you can march up to his castle on foot, or use the bee gyros, some kind of bee vehicle, helicopter thing, to fly up there instead. So that's what the insect thing Alnos was flying on way back when. Naturally, take this option if you want to avoid your rank dropping from killing too much. Or you just want to save time, either way. The next battle is in front of the castle gate. You must kill the 2 Gujis, that's seriously what they're called? You must kill the 2 Gujis guarding the castle gate. This battle is mostly the usual, but now you want to avoid bunching up your own units because of the new enemy type, the Death Wizard. These 2 are the strongest mages so far and have big area of effect spells. However, no matter how big the splash, it means nothing if they can't target one of your guys, so keep that in mind. One of the Gujis usually hides in the back, so you'll have to charge for him fast if you want this to end soon. Also, the map theme is a new song that's pretty okay. I'm happy to get a new song every so often. Something that's also worth a mention is that if you fight the enemy just south of this one, you can access a special shop. Since you have to take an extra battle to do it, I avoided it, but the shop there does have some interesting items in it. Chief among them is the Chrome Fist, an actual armor you can equip for more defense. Yes, this is the first armor you can get besides the one at the start of the game. There are only 3 armor items, sold at a shop early in the game, the shop here, and 1 more in the second to last chapter. I don't understand it. Why would you implement an armor system, make only 3 armor items, and then place them so far apart from one another? It doesn't make any sense. Also, you can purchase the Soul Staff here, which all mages in the game have by default anyways, and there are no upgrades to it. I guess the remake on the Saturn wasn't just to add voice acting, they really needed to fix up some stuff from the SNES original. There are a lot of weird things going on in this game. Anyways, there's a short cutscene with Resetsu and Tusk before the next fight. Apparently Tusk's life was spared by Resetsu during the war, and that's all that will be said of that. So, what? Was that throwaway line the only reason Tusk has sided with the Commodores? How did they even get into a life or death situation with each other if they were on the same side? Or were they not on the same side? You know, I don't expect amazing writing out of an SNES game, but come on. Anyways, the next fight is in the interior of the castle, and it's way too big for how many actual enemies there are. It's going to take ages just to get to them, but I suppose this means you can listen to the music. Anyways, you need to blow up every enemy in the castle, so take your time and pick them off one by one. Oh, and for some reason your flyers can fly on the ceiling of the castle while inside of it. Anyways, focus down your foes and... Oh, not again, Tobikage! Wait, what happened? You escaped from the... How did you do that? You literally died in this very fight, and suddenly you've escaped from the POW camp that you somehow got to in an instant? So, yeah, this is a thing the game does. Sometimes you get lost characters back for free. In this case, they want you to use Tobikage against Resetsu, but geez, wasn't it hilarious how the scene played out for me just now? I'm not even sure why they give Tobikage this scene. He's literally just here to deal with Resetsu, and then he's just another member of the army. This is a problem the early Fire Emblem games had, so I can't say I'm that upset that FEDA has a similar issue, but geez. Okay. Moving on to the fight with Resetsu, you just have to kill him, and only him, to end the chapter, so first make Brian draw him in. This is the combat art music, right? That animation didn't look like a combat art at all, so I don't really get it. Well, you'll probably have to spend the first turn getting everyone into position to dogpile Resetsu, while making sure Brian isn't killed. Enemies seem to be getting tougher again, so you'll want to end this quickly. An enemy should get into Stinger's range, so what you can do is fire his combat art and make sure Resetsu gets caught in its blast. The enemy healer will use the full map healing spell. Once all enemies have moved, you can use Tobikage's combat art. He has the movement to approach Resetsu from behind and use it. Then once the next turn starts, he can fire it again and defeat Resetsu. Wow, this fight feels as though it was made for Tobikage. He was actually a pretty key element in my strategy here. And that's actually the end of the chapter. Wow, this one felt really well paced too. Or maybe it was just too easy. I don't know. We get an actually really cool scene of Tobikage taking revenge on Resetsu, with the music playing even during the scripted combat animation. Resetsu follows the typical video game ninja code by exploding upon death, and the chapter ends rather abruptly. 1 Commodore down, 4 more to go. Next time we take on contestant number 2.